Creator's World. Listen.
We can talk about anything. Creator's Girl Talk. Creator's Girl Talk. We can talk about everything. Creator's Girl Talk.
Let's talk about it.
Girl Talk. Everything pertaining to life and godliness. We can talk about everything pertaining to life and godliness. Creator's Girl Talk. Creator's Girl Talk.
Let's talk to him.
Creator's Girl Talk. Creator's Girl Talk. Creator's Girl Talk.
Hey everybody!
Hey!
Welcome to another episode of Creators Girl Talk! Hey!
Hey!
Oh, we're excited to be in the studio today with yet another juicy topic.
Yeah.
But today I have with me my co-hosts, and they are...
Melissa,
Rochelle.
and Annie.
And again, we're missing Kelly B. but-
Kelly B.
Hey, but we love you,
We
girl.
love you, sis.
Creators Girl from the birth, right? So, y'all, we not going to prolong the time today. We going to jump into this subject because it is a juicy one, right?
Ooh, so juicy.
Oh, my goodness. So, I came across this post, and it said that I'm afraid that my wife is not bonding with my newborn. It doesn't matter who the baby is by. My wife should still be bonding with my newborn.
Oh, my Lord.
So in this situation, to bring some clarity to the table, this man's has had an outside relationship with somebody else, and the wife has made a decision to stay in the marriage, but he wants to bring the baby inside the marriage as well, and he wants her to bond with the baby, but the baby is not the wife's. What a dilemma.
Ooh, that's a dilemma.
This is a dilemma here, and I brought this up because throughout the ages, women have been taught to take whatever is being dished out. This is a hard topic to talk about, but it's the truth. And I thought about it all the way back to slavery, when black women and white women were still at the bottom of the totem pole.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So during slavery, you had some slave masters that would sleep with their female slaves who were married, but their husbands couldn't do nothing about it, or they would try to kill the whole family because it was in slavery. Yeah, you had another issue because the black woman didn't have no control over her body, so he could come in and sleep with her at any moment. And then you had the white woman, the white wife, who had no control over her husband, sleeping with the slaves. So not only is the slave master impregnating the slaves and his wife, the black woman has to take care of the master's child as well.
That's the truth.
I've seen pictures. I'm a social studies teacher, so I've seen all type of pictures where you have white babies on the breast of a black woman. And unless the baby was a mulatto, right? That it's not her child.
Yeah.
Because see, they wanted to keep an image with the white woman. They needed to be dainty. That's why they wore them girdles so tight, and all them corsets is what they called them back in the day. And they tied you up so you could get your shape back. Meanwhile, I can have as many babies by my slave as I want.
Yeah.
It goes all the way back to that.
Yeah.
And until today, where we're still having this issue and being able to accept anything that's going on.
You know what? This topic, it just hardens my heart. First of all, it goes against the rights of women, like you said, having to take, just any old thing. And even back from the history of time, we've seen it over and over and over where the maid servants even have to take care of the children and whatever have you. Not long ago, we were in Newark, New Jersey, and we saw a movie where it was just overwhelming what this Caucasian American man was doing with his power over the women, the wife, his daughter. Fortunately, he was having children, with everybody, because I don't want to get off topic, but he was having children with everybody, to include his slave, and the children was raised up and didn't even realize how related they were, But in regards to, trying to accept it, I'm sure back then it was very hard because that mother or, the wife probably had a relationship with this maid servant, you know what I'm saying, which love, and which we saw that on the movie that we saw, but in this situation that we're talking about in present day, he's trying to force his wife to love, something that's a constant reminder of what went wrong in their marriage.
Right.
So whether she accepted, now, my personal opinion, are we on that part yet? Okay. Are we talking about opinion? Okay. My personal opinion about it is that once she decided that she's going to work on the marriage, it is definitely a component of that marriage, but it does not have to be forced.
Right.
Anything being forced on women gonna already fire me up. Okay, I'm telling you that. I have no hit. It's not a secret. I even overseas have interest in women's rights, and this right here, really, you're forcing the woman to believe into something. Well, you know what? You act like I don't have my own belief system. That's what you act like. Okay, but anyway,
bondage on top of bondage.
Bondage on top of bondage, right?
Yeah.
But I do believe once she decided to stay in the marriage, that she automatically accepted it. She automatically accepted this baby. Whether she wants to bond with this child or not, and the child has another parent, her deciding to stay in her marriage made the acceptance to his child.
Well, you kind of gotta bond with the baby, because again, if I start acting shady towards the baby, now I'm wrong, right? Because the kid didn't ask to be here, the kid is not involved in what happened. But like I said when we were off camera, I could see me being completely shady towards the husband now.
Oh yeah.
And putting all my love on the baby, like we were saying in the movie Fences.
Right.
She was like, okay, well, fine, because she didn't have a child of her own. So it was like, okay, fine, I'll raise this baby and I'll love this baby. But you, sir, can kick rocks.
Right.
Until she-
Right.
But yet and still, she accepted it in her marriage, because she could have just told him and the baby to kick rocks.
Yeah, but a lot of women are even doing that today, even with Mr. Cannon. Now, he done went around and told each one of his mothers, baby mothers, that, I don't believe in one person, and, and I don't believe in being held back, and so this is, you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do, whatever. He done ran off these young ladies for like, oh, okay, I understand. He says he's not holding any information back from these young women. They have a choice, when he says, do you want to have a baby together and this type of thing? And please understand that I'm not binding you to anything. I'm not getting into any contracts with you as far as a relationship or fidelity. So he's already told them, and each one of these women have said they're okay with having a baby with him, and okay with you having babies with other women.
Open agreement.
Here's my issue with the situation. My issue is that she may need time, even though you say you decide that you want to stay. It still can't be a forced situation. You have to let it grow. You can't say, you decide to stay, so you got this baby, bam. You do what you do. Nurture them like maybe you nurtured the ones we got. It don't work like that, because you got more aspects to this going on. You know what I'm saying? You got feelings about this, because every time you look at this baby, you see the infidelity that happened between the husband and somebody else that's supposed to have been sacred in your marriage. Now you got this human being that's still a breach, and it depends on how he is. If you're trying to, if you're not making it welcoming, to try to get the wife to be able to bond, it's a system to it. If you force it, it's never going to work. Even if when you do stay, when things like that happen, it has to be dealt with. Even the family, you might need to go to some parenting classes or some counseling or some therapy or something. And if the other mother is involved, that's a whole nother aspect to it, because a lot of times in African American women, I see it all the time. You a trip. You know what I'm saying, when it comes down to stuff like that. Because now you got this woman who he been probably most likely told that he was gonna leave his wife. Please, people, listen. Listen, he's not gonna leave his wife. Okay, that was just a sidebar. That was just, that was for free. Okay, we were just trying to help somebody out there. But listen, now you got her because she got an attitude, and you don't know how she's been acting. Like, we don't know the whole gist of the story because she could be crazy. Byron, you guys seen that when on Tyler Perry and that girl? Oh my God.
Crazy.
Crazy. You could have one of them. And then and it's so many aspects to it that could be wrong. But I do agree with, if you're gonna stay, you do need to make an effort. But it didn't say she wasn't trying to make an effort. It just said he don't think that she bonded the way he thinks she should be bonded. Well, how do you think, sir? How do you think she should be bonding with your outside date?
Call us here at Creators Girl Talk.
Hit us up in the inbox.
Right.
But honestly, the bonding is going to be different anyway when it's not your child. When it doesn't come from your womb. Like, even if I had the baby from day one, it's still going to be a difference there. You can't say or force on me how I'm going to bond. But one thing I started thinking about is, in this day and age, how much have women been able to master the art of pressing our feelings, pressing down our feelings.
That's a whole show. We need a show on that.
Yeah, that's because being able to kind of push down our feelings in order to maintain the family or to keep the marriage, or like we were saying earlier, back in the day, we were taught a man gonna be a man, baby. So you just
and get over it.
You get over it. You just let them do what they gonna do, because they've told us a man gonna be a man, and they can play and they can fiddle and do whatever. You just hold the house down.
But if the shoe was on the other foot,
can we speak about that?
It would never.
That's a whole nother story. Because you do got some women out here that just, they doing whatever they want to do. But we supposed to be sugar and spice everything. Like, that's what little girls are made of. We crazy too sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Because I promise you, every time I brought up the idea of a man staying with a woman who got pregnant, she cheated, got pregnant, and came with every single man I've ever brought that up to. They like, oh, ain't no way.
I can't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Right. But the anticipation is that the woman, will be able. But then too, women in general, we're able to bear quite a bit, in all areas, so,
That's true.
We're going to talk about this a little bit more in our next session, too.
Okay.
Because we're going to be talking about the book that I wrote called The Art of Outloving Your Spouse. And it has a section in there where it kind of, it's an open book that talks about my family, what my family had to go through. So we had some similar situations throughout our family, and I'm not ashamed to say it, because if you don't go through nothing, you won't grow through nothing. So this is a growing season where we got to start talking about this stuff. Start putting it on the table. Start, trying to find out the root of the problem and the source. You know what I'm saying? What made him step out? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? We're gonna talk about that a little bit more on our next episode. But I do want to say that this is
I just want to say that's what real love is made of.
Because he was bonding somewhere else.
He was bonding.
Right.
Wherever he laid his head.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of different aspects to this.
It is. It's so much that we can go into. But I think the main thing is, if we get the family structure together, a lot of these things, these outside things won't happen. And we have to lose the pride on both sides in the relationship, because it might have been something that he was struggling with. And he's saying, this is what I like, this is what I need. And she might have been too stubborn to get it. Then he goes somewhere else and get it. And then this is that. Or he could just be selfish and he wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. I mean, it's so many aspects of it. It's such a wide, conversation.
It's a wide conversation, but I'm still going to be looking at him like, you nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Because you could have went out and did what you wanted to do without making a baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You had to make a whole. I don't know. I gonna say
Babies don't get made accidentally
man,
when you grown.
that's
grown,
crazy.
man.
that's the
when
deal.
you know how your
breaker.
you know how the machinery works now. Come on.
Yeah, that is
So
the deal
So you
breaker.
know.
yeah, so literally I would have to know that God called me to take care of
Man.
this baby and be that person, because I mean, you know, biblically I guess I have my out, because he didn't evidently show me he stepped out and fornicated or you know whatever. So yeah, it would really have to be well, Lord, what we doing?
Help me, Lord.
Father,
Speak,
what are
Lord.
we doing?
Speak today.
And
All I
get
know
some supernatural
is
love
that I
to
got my
say,
little heart
you
covered.
know,
All I'm
God.
doing was supposed to love this baby. I got
Yeah.
that covered. Now, whether or not I'm staying with you, that's something, you know, the Lord had to work on.
Now it'll have to be something
I'm
wrong
telling you.
with the mama.
Lord got to
If
work.
I'm not staying with the husband,
Mm-hmm.
if the mama died
My
or
God.
something like that,
My
or she was on drugs or something like that,
Oh, yeah.
then that would be a whole different story. But I would definitely have to have some counseling because man,
So counseling, because you know the
I need
idea of the devil gonna bring up in your
And
marriage.
therapy. I want you to know,
I was
inpatient for
thinking
me.
about that
Inpatient
every
for me.
day.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Without trying to resent a human child that's clueless,
really-
like, oh God.
Because how many
I
times
really
you
believe I
had
would
that?
have to have some
I
help.
don't really
Yeah.
think
My
I would
sister would have
resent
to,
the child.
you
I
know,
would
come get
just
that baby or
resent
something. I know
him.
that I'm gonna need help.
And that's why I just really feel like I would resent him
Uh-huh.
and everything about him.
Yeah, because what if the baby looked just like her?
Oh,
But you know what? Even sadder though, you know, what if, and I've seen this example in real life where the wife was unable to have children. You know,
Well, then they
Yeah,
will come
yeah.
into an agreement.
Well,
let's
they-
talk about
Or
this.
did he let her step? Like, did
But I'm
she
saying
tell him he had a hall pass
that's a
or
whole.
something? He
No,
went
no,
and
no.
had
But
a
I mean, the
baby?
hurt
I
that she
mean,
would carry is what I'm talking about. We know that he wrong.
Mhm.
Okay,
He
but I'm
real
saying is
wrong.
that you know, what if that was their situation? You trying to force this baby,
Baby.
and here I am. You know, my womb
Unbearable.
is right.
Yeah,
I'm
and that
bearing.
totally depends on the
Ooh,
woman.
that's a
Because
real hurt.
I'm watching
Yeah.
Yellowstone
Oh,
right
yeah,
now,
I've
and the
seen it.
lady actually, as a teenager, her brother took her to Chop Shop, and they gave her a whole hysterectomy instead of just
Oh,
an
my God.
instead of just an abortion. And the pain she carries throughout the entire movie concerning that is so deep. Like they actually get a young boy that's you know he's kind of left abandoned. You know, dad died. And they've been taking care of him for months, so he just called her mama one day, and she's like, "Don't call me mama. I'll never be your mom. I can't be a mom. I'll never be a mom. So
See that mental
I'm just
health?
your friend, boy."
There go that mental
And
health.
I was like, "Wow, like it really depends on
Yes.
what your state is. If you couldn't have children, and now he done brought your seed, you know,
Yeah.
his seed in."
So it
And
could
then
go
there's some
on and
women
on.
that on the opposite, they kind of like, you know, I want you to have.
Do you-
Dad, I
look
don't
at
want you
Sarah-
to-
Look at Sarah Nigga.
Mhm.
She told her.
She told
to do this. Told him. And then she turned around and still hated everybody.
I still would have
Because
liked
this
one
ain't
more
the
chapter
story,
of
you know.
arguing though.
Like, tell us more. Like,
I would have liked the whole chapter of Abraham going back and forth for a second. He was just
Like,
like,
look, you gonna have to get out of
okay.
here because my wife, she
you gotta
don't
go down.
agree with
This
this
lady
no more.
running off with the baby, and you done told her to go have the baby.
Yeah.
You know,
See,
but
that's
I don't
what-
want to see neither
see,
one of y'all no more.
Listen,
reality.
this is a whole nother show because we got to stop trying to help God when He made you a promise. If He said you're going to have a child,
That's gonna
it don't
preach
matter
right
when.
there.
And that might be the reason why it took so long for her to get pregnant. But you done already tried to fix the situation.
You done tried to
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Now you mad because now you got your own child and he done bonded with this other baby. You know what I'm saying? And now you got your baby. She don't want none of your attention going to this baby no more.
Oh yeah, because
because you
probably
got
a
your
year
own
that they wasn't
baby.
getting no, Abraham wasn't getting no loving from Sarah.
Yeah.
That's probably good.
It was
Through that whole pregnancy.
Right.
on
But
up
see-
in that little hut.
There's nothing new under the sun because this is
I
not
just don't
just
even
this
wanna
is
go.
not
Yeah.
it's more because think about what was her
Rachel and
name?
Leah.
The one that had the Penina, yeah. And who was the wife? Was it I can't think of the wife's name right now. But she was barren and she couldn't have no kids. But he loved her more than he loved Penina. And he like, I'm giving you this and I'm giving you that. And, you know, and she got all these sons and rubbing it in her face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then she over there, you know, feeling some type of way because she wants a child by whom she loves. But I don't even love you, but you got all the kids.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like different things like that. And then when God blessed her, she gave that child back to the Lord, which I believe was Samuel, right?
I think so.
Man, this is a juicy topic. But guess what time is it? It's time for the Bishop's Corner.
Bishop Corner.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Bishop's Corner.
Talk to us, Bishop.
This is the Bishop's Corner of the Creator's Girl Talk Show, and I am your humble servant, Bishop Dwayne, the Creator's Boy Coleman. So, the man done had a baby, and his wife is not bonding to the newborn. It's not hers. First of all, let me say this from the bottom of my soul. It takes a hell of a woman to stay with you in the first place. But we have mentioned the barren today. We have mentioned those who are not able to have babies. And some of these scenarios, even in the Bible, are really trippy. We talked about Sarah, who told Abraham to get the handmaid pregnant. Then 14 years later, she's upset because this 14-year-old Ishmael is poking fun of her newborn. Get rid of him. Then we had Hannah and Peninnah. Wow, it was just like Hannah was so antagonized. But there had to be some really tough issues going on in the home, even Leah and Rachel, as one of them were barren and the other was fruitful. And in each case, the one that was barren was loved more than the one that was fruitful. So there were some family issues going on there, and it lets you know that there's nothing new under the sun. But you cannot expect any woman, any wife, to love a child immediately that has just been brought in and it's not her child. You know what I mean? So if you give it anything, give it time. Seek counseling for the whole family. All right? And have some patience. And it's going to take a lot of prayer. And it's going to take a lot of fasting. And it's going to take a lot of worshiping together and praying together. If this is going to work, if this family is going to stay together, they definitely going to have to pray together. All right? And again, she's definitely an awesome woman for staying in the first place. This has been the Creator's Girl Talk Show's Bishop's Corner. And thank you so much for listening.
We're back. Hope you enjoyed the Bishop's Corner.
Yes.
Oh, he talked about some juicy stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, he absolutely. He's like, man, if this family gonna stay together, they gotta pray together.
That's a
I'm
prayer.
telling you.
I love the fact that it's an awesome woman if she does decide to stay and deal with everything that has come along in the marriage. But that is going to
we rooting for you.
be a hard and interesting task. And we're praying for you if you're out there. You know, we don't knock you in your decision, but we definitely are praying for and with you.
Yes. Yes, because everybody can't handle what you're handling.
No.
And so to all the women, because this is not just a one woman thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's some other ladies out here that's experienced that or something even might be even worse.
Yeah.
We have some that still believe in multiple marriages in different cultures and different things like that. We can't knock it because it's not our culture, but somebody still might not agree with that, and they have to deal with having 2 or 3 other women in the house with them in this present day. So it's a lot of things that's going on out there that if you are dealing with this, that you need to know one, that you're beautiful,
Yes.
that you're strong.
Yes.
Even the Word of God says that you are fearfully and wonderfully
Yes.
made.
Yes.
God didn't make no mistake, and what you're going through is not by happenstance.
Yeah.
You start asking the Lord, what is He trying to show you in this
Yes.
season? What is
Right.
He trying to tell you about the situation that's going on? And that baby's going to need somebody strong,
That's
because it's
right.
already a dysfunctional situation,
Yes.
but it don't have to be a lifestyle of dysfunction,
That's
right? And so we salute you today, and we actually honor you for
Yes.
saying, because a lot of us, we might not be able to handle what you can handle.
Absolutely.
The Lord said He won't put more on you
That's
than
what
you
he
can
said.
bear.
That's what
Right.
he said.
Right.
That's what He said in His Word, and we believe in you today. Stand strong and keep the faith, right?
Two things came across my mind. One of them is that we want to know that here at Creators Girl Talk, we have empathy and sympathy for anything that you're going through. But also, too, if you're in this situation and you believe that you cannot handle not maltreating the child, then you do want to lean to services. You do want to get into counseling. You want to get therapy. You want to get support. I knew once I became a certain age, if I said, if I come pregnant, my sister would have to come in. Call on your family members.
That's right.
Call on your true help. So I just wanted
Know
to
when
get
you
that out
need
there.
some help,
Yeah.
because as women, especially strong women, we don't always know when we need help. We'll
don't
work
know.
till we pass out.
Yeah. And that made my mind go to just really praying for those women who find out while you're pregnant that he's having a baby with somebody else at the same time. Now that happens quite a bit.
That is real.
And I will definitely be interceding and praying for you, for those that are in that situation. I know I might not know, but the Holy Ghost knows. And that's a hard thing to swallow when you find out somewhere during your pregnancy that you're not the only one having this baby. And that can be heavy, that can be hard, but we don't want these babies coming into the world with that spirit of rejection.
Right.
We don't want our babies feeling as if they just, it's already bad enough that they got to come through life. And the Bible talks about a man is born and then his days are full of trouble.
Yeah.
And mom needs to be the one carrying that heart of Christ, that ability to love them in such a way that they don't feel all of that coming at them when they get here.
Ooh, I just felt something from Pastor Annie. Also, too, you said it, and I'll put it this way. You're talking about even the roles that the woman has to play. We want to encourage you that you don't forget you have other roles that you have to play. One of them is to encourage your husband, since you're still married as well. And Pastor Annie, you just brought that on, that feeling of, wow, you can get so overwhelmed with focusing on why I don't love this person or don't like him a certain way. But your job will never like him anyway. We got to remember what our principles are in the book, right? And is that right? And to love, and then once you marry, to support your husband, and run the household. It's your job. It's your job to go.
If you
That's
decide
right.
to take on that responsibility and make that marriage work, and although it will take time, you want to take the necessary steps to be able to love your family back to wholeness.
Yes.
Right.
Amen.
And so, to let you know that you are not alone, we do have some celebrities out here that's been dealing with the same thing. And so, Rochelle is going to tell us a little bit about one of the ones we chose to kind of talk about on the show.
All right. So recently in the news, we heard about Wendy Williams and Mr. Kevin Hunter. And after they had been together for 25 years, a 25-year relationship and married for 21, it came out that he had not only just a outside relationship, but that the young lady was also pregnant. Okay, at that point, Wendy Williams went ahead and made a decision that was a deal breaker, and the marriage was over. Now, she did put a statement about it. She said Kevin had a major indiscretion that he will have to deal with for the rest of his life. Williams said, an indiscretion that I will not deal with. He will always be my family because we do have a son. At the time, he was 19 years old, and they had a 25-year marriage, 25-year relationship and 21-year marriage. So in that situation, although my understanding, which is in the media, she accepted who Kevin was and what he did and had outside relationships, but once the baby came for her, it was a deal breaker. But something just came to mind I want to share with you. Senior man, Pastor Joyce Myers, she shared on the media that when she was married, or getting ready to get married, her husband said, I want to marry you. And she said to him, well, you know that I do have you know, a child. And he said the most miraculous thing. He said, I don't know him, and I haven't got a chance to, you know, learn to love him, but I love you. So I will love everything about you. You know, so I just wanted to share that at some time. And that's a little different. The baby wasn't brought in later. It wasn't a fool. Nobody was deceived. But I just thought that was sweet to share.
And it still speaks to the grace that has to come into your life to blend families together. Because more than any other time probably in history, we have so many families learning to blend together. Unfortunately, you know, and we're talking about back in our parents' day, that blending wasn't really happening. That's why we got these Papa Was a Rolling Stone songs and things where you like, man, you might want to do a blood test before you go dating and get married, because you don't know who you going to run into out here. Might be your brother or your cousin.
Real thing.
But it takes a grace and an authority, I think, from the man to blend those families together in a way, you know, that kind of puts the adults' controversy to the side and say, you know, you guys, whether you like it or not, y'all brothers and sisters, and we got to learn how to kind of get over that so that the children can come into the family and feel the love of a family.
Right.
And don't dog out this husband and spouse for what he has done. If just don't be with him. Okay, if you truly feel that you need to maltreat one of God's children because he's still God's child, you know, don't do that. You know, where every word you got is, you know, you're so mad and upset about what he did or the situation, you start treating people bad. And that right there does worry my nerves.
It has to be a decision. It has to be. You have to. Either you're gonna be in or you're gonna be out. And if you're gonna be in, you can't be the problem. It's already a problem. So you can't be like, your daddy.
All the baby all the kids got toasted. You get the end piece for some.
Right. You can only get the butt. You remember the chicken?
Why my baby over here keep getting the end piece?
Right.
Not right. Yo, this child looking different. Don't have the right clothes on.
You have to treat that child.
You the only one got an undershirt on. Like, you know, you can't be sneaky with your
spiteful.
That's right.
And don't let that bitterness harbor in your heart. And for the men that are in these type of situations, have patience and take the time and put in the work to build the trust back up in your marriage, to build the relationship, and don't try to forcefully put your infidelity that you made outside of the marriage on her. It would have to take time, and it would have to take patience and a lot of love to get that relationship to where it needs to be.
And it's gonna take some balance, because as much as you know feel like now I gotta take it, because we had on The Game 2 years ago. I don't know if y'all watched the show The Game. And they had been dating for, you know, him and Melanie had been dating since high school, college. Now she was in college with him and getting into pro ball. And on a break, he had a baby. So now she had to deal with the whole, I've been your girl forever. I know you love me. But now you got this kid. So it was like, he kind of started shoving her as a priority kind of to the side. You know I was supposed to do this tonight, but you know I got to go take care of the baby now. Now I got to do this with the baby. I got to do this with the baby. So it's got to take some balance where you start to understand, especially that order in the house when it comes to God, man, wife,
make sure
and then them kids, right?
Every time you go and talk about you taking care of that baby, your wife is thinking you over there taking care of that baby and that woman.
No matter
what the way it's gonna go.
Tell the truth.
I don't care what you say and how you try to say it.
Because if you're going to take care of the baby, I'm going to.
That's right.
Oh, I know.
How about that?
You can call the creators, girl. We'll go with you.
How about that?
I mean, if you want a family, let's have a family.
Right.
That's right. All right. But this is not too big that God can't handle
That's
it.
right.
I want you to know that. And you bring them before the Lord, your family. You want your family, you fight. You know, if that's what you want, you fight.
Yeah, I believe God enlarges your capacity to love when those situations come, especially if you let Him do it. Right? Because you can only, go so far. And I believe then God's like, man, you're weak in this area. I'm about to be strong.
He can do it. He can turn your
marriage
around.
His strength is very perfect. Because this one, you definitely
coming
need
out
the
of this.
Lord.
You need the Lord.
And there's the difference between being like, no, I don't want no help. I just want to be mad. You know what I mean? I just want to be mad.
Because some of them do just want to be mad.
Yeah.
It's a comfort zone. There's a lot of little places that you can hide in and just make the situation more difficult than it already is, right?
But you stand on God's word. I've seen him renewed marriages that we think would never have made it or not have an opportunity.
Yeah,
He can
we've
do it.
seen also
do
that
it.
when they separated, you know, from things like this, that some years go past and they get back together. It takes time. You know, everybody processes things different. You can't expect somebody to heal overnight.
No. Yeah, you got to keep people out your ear when they
Yeah,
talk about
ooh, that part.
because more than anything, it seems embarrassing. It seems
it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Misinformation.
So you can't,
stand on God.
people immediately like, oh, girl, no, he didn't. What? You know,
And if
it's
I
like-
was you, I'd do. Yeah, and that's the
Remove
main way you need
all
to
the
get away from
naysayers.
it.
Remove them out your life.
If God told
Yeah.
you to stay,
Remove
then
them.
you stay and you stand on it until God healed the whole family.
He can do it.
Yeah.
If you don't know God, seek God.
Yeah.
You need God.
You
Yes,
got to
especially-
have God.
I think, especially if your husband's
God.
apology, like
Yeah.
it's two different responses. Sometimes you can get out that husband where he's just like, baby, please, I'm sorry, oh my mother, and then it's this attitude like, man, I messed
Look, it
up.
happened.
I messed up, and then what I'm
supposed
supposed to do? And it's like, nah, you don't really want your family. I need
No,
you.
right.
We got to fight together. We got to both be in the fight.
You gonna get a little humble
keep
pie.
it together.
Yeah,
I need
Uh-huh.
somebody to tag team with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need
Ooh,
somebody
wait.
to like tag get his ring.
Can you help
Well,
me?
look, leave us some comments.
Yes.
Uh,
we got to come in.
Seek us on our pages.
Yes.
All of that. If you want to talk more into this, we can talk more. If you are struggling with this and you need help, we have all of us are ministers and we're able
Yes.
to minister to whatever need that you have according to the way God has dealt with us to do. And again, we want to say that just stay in the race. If that's what God told you to do, then you do that. Don't let nobody make you feel bad about the decisions you made, right? And so we want to give a shout out today to our New Divine Truth family, Christ Minded Ministries,
Christ-Minded
right?
Ministries.
We want to give a shout out to Creators Word Fellowship, and we want to give a shout out to all our faithful followers.
Yes.
We thank you. We can't thank you enough for being faithful to us and sharing the word and sharing our posts. It really does mean a lot to have people backing you up. And again, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feared the Lord, she shall be praised. This has been another episode of Creators Girl Talk.
Creators World. Listen.
We can talk about anything. Creators Girl Talk.